this volcano when it was erupting.
Okay.
I find it hard to
Zoom
believe
in.
in any of these.
They wouldn't get buried in ash.
Yeah, these are alive,
Hold there.
these tube worms.
Oh, look. Yeah, you can see.
Oh, wait,
see?
what are
They have little red feathery tentacles coming out, or arms. Oh, that's really nice.
And are they?
And there's a shrimp.
Are they anemones?
Those flowery things, they do look
Zoom in
like
more.
that.
They are.
One
Go
on the
ahead.
right. That's
Wow.
Oh, I see. Yeah,
We're really
yeah.
bright.
They survived.
Can
Good for
certainly do
them.
So, Rena, what's the story with these shrimp that are not
zoom in.
Caris?
How's our range from the
boy.
wall? Co-pilot,
There
everything
are,
look okay?
gosh.
in these northern
I've,
seamounts and in the
meters before,
Izubonin,
so
there is
Okay.
another shrimp that stays right on the edge of really low venting. So they, we saw this, I believe, the
Look
same
at
guy at Kasuga,
Let's zoom
and
up the
right
video.
on
I'm
the
going to try
edge
to
at
different camera.
Nico. So it's a species the Japanese have described from the Izubonin arc. Nobody's looked at them much, except to name them.
Okay. And we didn't see them further south than this, huh?
I haven't noted them. We might have seen them, but
I'll get you a stable shot video.
we know what it's like.
No worries, standing by.
So,
But, yeah.
do we want a sample of these?
I don't know what we would do with the sample. I'm pretty sure this is the same tube worm as on Nico.
Okay. Okay,
Um,
fair enough.
And Nico's not very far away, so
Okay.
I'm
Right.
not sure that it would be anything new. The anemone might be more interesting, but there we go.
Could we get another zoom on the
Yeah.
anemones, pilot? Thank
You
you.
can do it all. Yep. Go ahead and zoom in. Just wanted to
How
get a
about
good shot of the
the
tube worms.
barnacles, Rena? Do you think they, of course, we haven't gotten a good look at them yet, but
Right.
would they be
Hold this
unusual?
partial. That's a nice shot.
Ooh, how
My
could
guess
you
is
sample
it's the
them?
same barnacle that occurs on Nico, which has been published. But it's, again, it's always a guess. But that's nice. So this is Lamellabrachia.
It's tough.
Can I remember the species?
Losing
Might be
sight of my
Satsuma.
tether. I think we're still okay.
Yeah, it's blowing off to the port side.
Look
I think
that
we're
up.
okay.
Great.
Thanks for
But I
keeping an
don't
eye.
know the anemone, and I don't know that
Okay, I'm just gonna go.
we don't
Little
have any
tiny.
anemones in our
Yep.
collection from the Mariana Arc.
Wow, okay.
So a tube with an anemone on it, maybe that's
Sorry,
useful.
I'm just trying to hold it steady.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Might be nice. I see one.
We can
Let's
slow
zoom
it
out.
down.
Let's zoom
Oh,
out.
there
I
are
see a few,
several
yeah,
on this
yeah.
thing sticking out
Yep,
here.
yep.
Uh-huh.
Sorry, it's hard to hold a
With all
stable
the
shot
stuff
here.
on the
No, you're
tubes
doing
of the
great.
tube
This is
worms,
perfectly
do they
usable.
have some kind of mucus coating, and it's just
Bacterial.
sediment to it, or-
Yeah, that's a good question.
Go ahead, watch lead.
I have no idea why they got. Oh no, those might be the bases of anemones
Oh, yeah?
that have wrapped
Okay.
around the tube, the big thick part.
Which one are you looking at?
Right.
Oh, yeah.
Bottoms
one-
of the screen.
That's in a Y. It's bifurcated.
You want to zoom in? Tara?
Yep.
But
Yeah,
just,
that
just
one.
a couple
Yeah,
is
that
probably
one.
all
The
we
one
need.
sticking
Bottom
out.
screen. Yep,
These
sticking
guys
out.
tend to
Okay.
be fairly old.
Ah, hold on.
No, we
Okay, let's zoom
standing
out.
by.
Let's zoom out, and I can.
Okay, what's the
full light.
consensus, science team? Should we go ahead and try and get one of these tubes that has a couple of anemones on them, on it?
Yes, I would. I personally would love to know what the anemone is to compare it with the back arc system, where we do know what the anemones are.
And even
that sounds good.
Okay.
even Deb Glickson is saying, "Yay, tube worms live! Yay!"
Okay. Watch lead pilot.
Go ahead, watch lead.
Yeah, that's confirmed. We would like to get a sample of that tube. We're specifically interested in the anemones that are on it.
Okay.
I'm happy here.
Okay, let's zoom in,
Okay,
Tara?
to image a bit.
Yeah.
Great.
Let's see exactly where I'm going to cut. If you could zoom out, I know I'm not. I've got my toes in,
Okay, just
so I can't really adjust much. But
no problem.
can you zoom out of
And
here?
it wouldn't be a bad thing if you snatched flatfish too. At the same time.
I'm gonna
Only
put,
if they
your mini Zeus
volunteer.
on my monitor.
So we're hoping that one will just kind of like climb on to swim
above one is
onto
actually
the
better.
tube.
And can I take your
And
mini
then
Zeus?
come along for the ride, and then before the drawer is closed, they get into the bin. You
Yep.
better keep all your fingers crossed for something like that happening.
Close
The
so I
more
can get closer.
adventurous the fish, the better for us. Although I don't
let's
think
zoom in
they
on
taste very
Mini Zeus.
good. Not if they are feeding on
Zooming on mini.
sulfurous stuff.
Looks a little bit below you, Kyra. Yeah.
Coming away.
Hold there. Tilt down on Mini Zeus.
So these tube
Oh,
worms,
God.
like other vestimentiferan tube worms, host bacterial symbionts. The bacterial symbionts are chemoautotrophs, and they are able to use the sulfide to produce food for themselves and for the animal.
Can you zoom in on Zeus? So you want to get the anemone and the tube worm, right?
Roger.
So
Should I have
Is
said
that-
Roger Dan?
Looks like there's a couple in that. Is that tube
I'll
on the
zoom in
left?
just a bit.
You guide, Shirley. On the left.
I'm sorry, on the right. There's the tube worm and then the anemone on
Yeah.
the back side. Is that? I think that would be easier to grab.
Oh, yeah, it would be
Does the
easier to
worm
grab.
body go all the way down the full length of the tube, or are they only
So,
occupying
the
some
top
upper part of it?
Oh, you do?
Not that
oh,
one.
you
Well,
do on
I
that
know
one?
with
Not that
the
one.
That one
they're
is easier to
occupying
grab.
most of the tube.
But it's not on
Yeah,
a
we-
live
we-
I
worm.
don't know for sure with Lamellobrachia. I don't know, Brina, if you know.
Okay.
That one
Uh,
looks
Yeah.
like
probably
it's
The
like
one on the right
Cut
that's
there.
curved.
Yeah.
we just had
Yep.
Rachel
about 3
comment that
anemones.
that looks
Yeah.
like a sponge. on
Zoom out a
the
bit
tube.
on Zeus Plus, please.
We
oh,
want,
Zeus Plus.
we want that
You see-
special one.
You see the oscula on it?
So the curved one will
What do
do,
people think?
right?
Yeah, the curved one with the red thing on top, and it's got a bunch of anemones on it.
Okay.
Don't have a close shot
Okay.
of the
Right,
anemones,
thanks.
but it'll be difficult from here, so
Yeah, I'm
don't worry
already
about
set
it.
up, so
Okay.
just have to.
Hydraulics are running. Let me ramp up a bit.
Okay.
Should be
Would
Okay,
you
we're
like
going
to
in.
press full way.
To try
gonna
to
be down
sample.
there.
You should have hydraulics.
Too bad.
Let's get lasers on too.
I got it.
What,
Many species
I'm
of
gonna open the
Lamellobrachia
drawer
can
here,
grow
right?
Yeah, I'll have
backwards
to
as
lift
well
up.
as forward,
Should
and
be
they
fine.
send
There's
the
lasers.
back end of the trunk
Oh,
way
you
down,
get,
and
you
they
get beams in
pull
this visibility.
sulfide
Very nice.
through the walls of
One
the
good
tube.
thing?
Yeah.
Sulfide will diffuse through the tubes, and they can do sulfide pickup through the back end.
Just
of
given the
throat-
size of that, I'm
of
not
the
sure.
abdomen.
I'm not sure I'd be able to
Trunk.
just get the one curved one. I mean,
You'll see
in order
how
to cut it,
very small
get your
the plumes
finger
are
in
at the
between.
top, and that's used mostly
Yeah.
for
Might be able to make it
armor
happen.
scenes.
but the cutters are
deep in there. If you come from the right side and come to the left,
No,
are
he
far
has- he
back
has
from
to
the
go
fingers.
past
though.
it. Yeah,
So
so
I
you
might end up just
Thing
grabbing.
about the fact that the,
the dead one,
sulfide
too.
can come into the tube,
Yeah.
or sorry,
You don't
through
think
the,
you can get your
the
finger
tube or
between them?
space, whereas oxygen
Well, I'm just
can
not
come
sure
through
that would
From
be.
the left.
I don't think that'd be an effective
means
grab.
that they
Okay.
don't have to have both
Yeah,
exactly
I agree
the
with
same
you.
place. There's a little bit of a gradient sometimes,
yep.
so this kind of allows them to be able to make use of both parts of their environment.
Let's try it.
Interesting.
So watch these. They're a little bit smaller than what I thought. I mean, I might end up grabbing the dead tube too, but I'm assuming that
Yep.
you won't have a problem with that. So.
Nope.
Understood.
And everything still looks good.
Okay, hydraulics are up.
Yep. Spun up. Do you want me to do something different with Mini Zeus?
I think that's fine.
Okay.
mental tuber.
Okay, for those of you who are watching from shore, we are broadcasting to you live from the NOAA exploration vessel, the Okeanos Explorer. We are at Daikoku Seamount, Mariana Trench National Monument. We are just getting ready to collect a sample. We're looking at some anemones that are growing on tube worms. We are at 359 meters.
I think at the moment we're about 3.3 meters off the seafloor, and the pilots are very carefully hovering in the water column in order to make this sampling.
Very fragile, huh?
Oh my, that looks good.
You might get a rock too.
Ah, I don't think so.
Oh wow!
So lift 200 pounds, right?
Corkscrew.
Oh my goodness. These things really do attach
Wait till
themselves
top.
hard to the rock.
Minis, just
don't
please.
they?
Yep.
So the fact that these
I'm gonna take your
curl
Zeus
around
as
so
well.
much is why I really wasn't sure. I've never actually dissected a lamellobrachia before. But that's why I was wondering whether they
Did we
may
get
not
an enemy or?
All the way down.
you know, everywhere.
Come all
But
the way up
I don't
on
know. They
Zeus.
might.
Yeah, zoom in, Tara.
Yeah.
Well, I have dissected those babies, and they are not easy. And they go all the
I
way
think
back,
those-
and the
Shell-
tube
oh,
is
wait.
Oh
off.
no, those are.
There's
I
one
fell
right
off.
there.
Oh,
Wow.
there's one on the
No,
dead
there's
side.
okay. So I see
Oh, there's one
anemones.
there.
Yeah,
Nice.
there's
Okay,
yeah,
well,
there's
great.
an anemone
We
there.
have
You're
one.
Will
good.
that do?
It will.
Okay.
We're gonna be able to pack this all into a bio box.
Yeah.
Now the anemones won't
Well,
jump
So
off.
you didn't
will they?
cut the dead one.
They're attached.
That's
to
the one with the
substrate
anemone
Well,
on it.
presumably yes.
to the tube.
Coming wide on minis.
the good thing. Go ahead,
And
Tara.
we do
The
have
good
to
thing
look at
is
the
that
barnacles.
it's quite flexible.
Yeah.
It seems so.
I'd just yank it out of the ground and then.
We
So what the
did, but
pilot's
it's
gonna
like
do is,
3 feet long.
You could pack it all in there.
Extend the sample
I'm gonna get-
tray
Yeah.
when he has this
Ideally,
Yeah,
you'd
what
like
do
to
you
cut
think?
it.
detached
Got a lot of
from
voices
the
in my ear right now.
seafloor.
Yeah.
What are you thinking, Dan?
So I'm gonna go ahead and grab it. We're gonna pull off the wall and try to stuff it in the box.
Right. Sounds like a really good plan.
Sounds like a plan.
That is quite long, isn't it?
Oh my, golly! I'm
Yeah, I hope
impressed.
you're seeing this at home. Wow.
All right. So I'm gonna
This
get.
thing has an extensive tube.
Let's follow me on Mini Zeus, please.
Yep.
How
Gulf of
secure are
Mexico,
those
Chuck
anemones going to
Fisher
be?
has dated
They
these
sh-
things at well over 100
should.
years.
And tilt down. Yeah. Okay. Wow. Okay. Just not expecting it to be 3 feet long here. I think we can do this. All right.
To coil it.
It's probably fold upable.
I think I can do it. I can get the bottom in the box.
Yep.
And
Just
then
start packing it.
Pack it
gently,
in there.
gently mush the rest of it in.
Coil it in there.
Down
So we're
behind.
gonna keep hydraulics on.
Yep.
Okay.
I know.
Yeah.
Okay.
Might want to coil it about itself.
Are we full wide on all cameras?
No, is
Yes, you
is
Looks
the
like my
tube-
hair.
Shirley.
Okay, now then, can
You
you
are
walk me
such a
through
kid.
hydraulics again?
Yeah, starboard belt
Shirley
pack.
has decided to embrace her curls. She said.
Closed
Very
drawer.
curly hair.
She's- yeah.
And
she
you would
is.
never know how long it was if you
Close
saw the way it
Close
looked
it.
now.
Retract both pins.
Retracting port. Retracting
And
starboard.
pilot, what side do you want to put this thing
We're gonna
on?
do port.
We're going to go port side, so
I agree.
extend the port.
Extending
Don't worry,
port.
folks. We'll go back in and take a look at the
And
barnacles.
we're
in a bit.
ready to open it up when he is.
Pilot looks like we're maybe ready to open.
Hold on. Just
Okay.
get steady here.
Oh my goodness.
Actually, if you look in the manipulator cam, see how the bottom is actually curling upward?
Yeah.
This might actually might not be too bad.
Yeah, that's good.
Oh, yeah.
Just on the minis, it looks like it's going down, but
It does.
Mm-hmm.
Standing by the
Optical illusion.
all right. So I'm gonna have you come up a couple meters just to
Okay.
clear, and I'm gonna have you watch that cliff, nav, and if we start drifting toward the cliff, just let me know, and I'll index out and we'll back off.
I got eyes.
Okay.
Are you in
Let's
auto?
get the yeah. Well, I'm in auto depth, auto heading, but I don't know how good of a reading we'll have in auto XY, so I'm leaving that off. But let's get the box, port bio box open, please.
All right. Opening.
Looks good.
Keep an eye on the Sirius camera as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. Watching everything. Good. I got the pins right. And I'm not going to hit the bottom of that because it actually curls up. That is full open.
Okay.
Gonna angle down a little on
Space.
Manipulator camera looks pretty good. Yeah.
No.
Well, we'll get the main part in there, and hopefully the important part will just get cut off.
Attention on the Explorer. The ship's door is now open for the next 10 minutes or so. That's right. The ship's door is now open.
You might. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
In the closet.
That's nice. Do you want to try to pack that in, or should I close it?
Okay.
and pinch it?
Yes. Stand by a minute before you close that.
You could push
Okay,
forward
so
just a little
how
bit
important is it to get the bottom of this tube? Because it looks like what's going to happen when the door is slid closed is that the bottom of the tube may get cut off. I'm not sure we can do anything about that.
I'm pretty sure
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah,
mean,
go ahead, Dan.
it's definitely I think most of it is in the box.
Yeah, I think it is too.
I think it'll.
The drawer may push the rest in.
Yeah, I think we got it. There's also a little bit of a gap between the divider and the lid, so that might just get
we're good.
draped over that.
Were too,
Yeah, yeah.
Can you zoom in?
I'm not. One end. The
You see
bottom
that
end would be the one to
smudge there? On the
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah,
box?
and the top end
Consensus.
is already in the box.
Zoom in on that, Tara, please. On
Yeah, we're
Minisys.
going to just zoom in on what's in the box right now.
Perfect.
I'm afraid that's the anemone. Can you zoom in tighter?
I'm bringing it up. That's too far.
Or is that just a little filament?
I really can't tell.
Oh, that's on the. No, that's. I think you're okay there.
Looks like it's just
yeah,
a
I think
filament.
that's
I don't
okay.
think
I don't
that's
Okay,
think
can we
that's
zoom in the
anything.
box and make sure we got the
Moving to
anemone?
box. Is that it center now?
It looks.
Closed up, right there in the center.
Close up, yep.
That's all you have? Okay. Ah, there we go.
It.
It looks like it's in there.
Is that it?
Yeah, it looks like it. It looks like it.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay. Yeah, it looks like
Zoom
it.
out.
Thanks.
And let's close up the drawer, please.
Close it.
Port.
Oh yeah, that's in there.
Yep.
Beautiful.
Nice. Nice. Thank you.
And retract both pins, yes?
Yes, please.
Retract port. And starboard. Do you want any help with cameras stowing your own?
Yeah, bring the mini Zeus over.
Got it.
Okay, hydraulics on the craft secure.
Disabling valve packs and spinning down hydraulics.
Nice sample pilot. It's a tricky one. Looks like you drifted back just ever so slightly.
Yeah. Maintaining good visual and serious at
Give you
least.
both cameras.
Sure. Thank you.
And I'm going to take my screen back.
Okay. Good.
You got high pack. You drifted a little bit to your starboard there. It's a lateral port. And then find the...
Got it on sonar.
Yeah. Keep working that way, probably.
Looks good on serials. Maybe a little more.
If anybody's interested in taking a look at the sample that we collected, or the area just preceding the actual sampling, and wants to see it again, you can take a look at the Okeanos Explorers website, where you will find video clips from this entire dive and, in fact, all the other dives that we have taken and that we will be taking on this
CTD's
expedition.
15 degrees Celsius.
There's a
Holding.
cluster of stuff right here, Shirley, that
There's
looks
certainly, oh wow, is that
all the world.
oh my
like
gosh,
a
look
dead
at all the
basket star, or a whole bunch
No,
of
I
tube
think those are
worms.
tube
These are tube
worms.
worms.
Oh my
This
gosh.
would have been much easier to sample.
Yeah, I know.
Sorry.
That's okay.
Maybe we could zoom, though.
We'll definitely zoom.
Yeah, could we
in
zoom on
these.
there and see if there's anybody
Yeah.
sticking their little heads out of the ends of those
Yes,
tubes?
it'd be beautiful. Yeah.
Isn't it always the way?
Can you bring the upper?
Oh, we were looking for the anemones, so.
Yeah.
I think they're. I'll just back off.
Lasers
I
are
can
10
get
centimeters
lights out.
apart for
Zoom in.
scale.
See if this is good enough.
So that's about 4 inches.
Look at all those anemones too.
Those little
This would have been so much easier.
Oh my goodness! Oh
right,
my
well, now-
goodness.
Dan, why don't I get those lights up?
Oh, we
Yeah.
put our pilots through
Well,
the
no.
worst.
Well, no, wait,
I don't mind. I just
no, wait,
hope
now,
that
let me
it's
ask you,
enough.
well, no, let me ask you a question. Can we
Yeah.
just combine these?
What do you mean?
I'm fine with that. If I'm just afraid that the sample I got you isn't enough.
Right.
Cutters in.
Well, that's what I'm thinking too. Can't we just combine this and make this part of
That
sample?
is certainly not my call. That would be Casey.
All right,
'Cause we
Casey,
can
are you
definitely get
listening?
what you need here.
Problem, Shirley.
Yeah, I don't think that's a problem either. Casey, what do you think?
So what's the question? Sorry.
Can we just go ahead? We just sampled a tube with anemones on it.
You
It
wanted
only
the
had like
anemones.
1 or 2 anemones if they even made it. This one, we're just a few meters away. This is a cluster that has way more anemones. The anemones have not been reported from here.
That will count as a second biosample.
That's what I figured.
As it was a different location and we can't just return the biosamples to the seafloor.
They're the same samples.
So
We're
we
not
need to-
returning them. They're
No,
exactly the
but-
same.
Yeah, but
it
they are
is
in
a
a
separate
different position.
location in a different position. So it could be the second biosample.
Losing the light a little bit.
I mean, we definitely got you one anemone. But
Well, if there's one in there, we got it.
Yeah, these were within like 5 meters of each other, probably. Right.
Yeah,
about
it's a different location though.
copy.
A different grouping.
Yeah.
So the
Same species.
Is it possible, the way that you guys have the bio box opened, is it possible to open it and see what the anemones are, to see if it's necessary to do another sample, or
We
would that
looked.
jeopardize it?
No, we
Zoom out,
actually
Tara.
looked,
Careful,
and
away.
it looked like we could, if we use our imagination, could say that yes, there was an anemone in there. What do you think,
Yeah, but
pilot?
you could tell them apart when you take them out of the box. You'll know which is which.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Actually, we would end up, I guess, just putting them in a different bin then. So, what do we want to do here? We want to call this a different sample. Are we happy with the sample that we just collected? That's going to be suitable for us to do the identification that we would need to do.
Nav or pilot, how do you watch the upper swing arms?
On Titan.
Yeah, that's I just gotta find them. I guess.
Titan can't look that high.
Oh, and Zeus Plus.
You get an
You
anemone?
can also see them in the real cams when they're.
We think we got.
pilots,
Mini Zeus
pilots
can look
said
up there.
That
if
there
your
was at
pilot
least
lets you.
one.
Can I take your mini Zeus?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, that's fine. I mean, they don't fall off. Anemones
Yeah.
attach pretty darn well.
Right.
Okay.
Kids, have you asked video if they could replay?
Oh, not
Next
yet.
I mean, it's totally retracted, right?
Oh, that's the picture there.
So you're
Yeah,
bringing
but that's
your
not
port
after it's
up or out.
No, it's
after it's
not
been
after
in the
it's
bin.
box.
Yes, I
Right.
started to.
So I'm seeing a lot of yellow encrusted material.
There you go.
That's
Yeah.
duo.
Irregular shaped rock fragments over here that look really strange.
Will
They
you try
kind
another
of look
zoom
like
while
spatter
recording, pilot?
Yeah.
that might have a sulfur incrustation, or is this sulfur spatter? Bill, do you have a thought?
And then rotate down.
I'm guessing this, it looks like a sulfur layer that must have formed from, sulfur being thrown out of the
Okay, go ahead,
crater.
Tara.
And at one point it was all one layer altogether, and now it's broken up
Hold there.
into these pieces.
So this is on the rim of
it's
the
a thick
deep
layer
crater.
of sulfur,
Yeah,
so it
I
looks like,
agree.
more of a larger chunk.
That's cool.
Just bump the wall.
Is that what happened?
Yeah.
Not tossed out as a
My toe hit.
You
We
you
tilt
think
up
that
just
it
a
was
touch
tossed
and-
out or not?
Yep. There it is
Okay.
again.
I think
kinda
if it
cool.
was tossed
They'll
out, it
just
was,
suck
it was
in.
ejected as a large chunk of rock rather than
I see.
it didn't come out molten.
All right, I'm going to hold this for a second.
Right.
I was thinking maybe it could
Beautiful
rain
shot.
down in little
Yeah.
blebs for an extended period of time.
Right.
and
Do you mind if I zoom just a
accumulated
little
and
bit more?
formed a
Hold on.
over time.
Yeah,
I
we're
see.
stable.
And then broke
I
up.
think I
Well,
have.
it looks
set up
like
a little better.
broken
Okay.
off
Thanks, go
chunks of solid sulfur, although
I agree.
can't swear that
Yeah, go ahead,
it's
Tara.
actually a volcanic rock underneath there, but
Okay. We're almost at
bright
full,
yellow,
so
it looks like
great.
a solid piece of massive sulfur that's broken up.
Any interest in picking up some?
I was thinking it's
That's
formed as one piece, and then by accumulation of these stuff.
Okay, so we went back and did a
Those worm plumes.
replay of the video and can confirm that there's at least one anemone, possibly two or three, on the tube that we collected, and that's in the bin. And so, wait, first of all, you're on mute. Okay, but wait. So if the scientists are okay with having only one or two anemones to study, then we won't make a second collection.
And I was
Okay, that's fine.
I was
Okay,
wondering
thanks.
We can
of
go
the
with it.
morphology of the worm. There's red sort of fluted or spiny material, and then on top of that there's a white cluster
okay, I'm just gonna
that
pull out
looks
a
like
touch
the
and
cup
go
of a
slowly.
buttercup
It's
or
slightly
something.
wider
Just
shot.
almost a flower on top. What are these different parts of the animal?
So the red plume is the gill, and that's what takes up oxygen, sulfide, carbon dioxide.
Okay.
It's also the way the worms pass
Do you want to
their
talk to Watch
gametes
Lead and
back and
see what their
forth.
plan is?
They
Here,
Yeah.
make sure
literally
they're okay with
patch
timing and how far we're going to get.
with
Okay.
their gills. And the thing on top is a little plate that closes the tube
Still
off
lasers
when they
still
pull
pilot.
in,
Yeah.
and they have a little
Oh.
protective plate. And on some
Nice.
species, it's really, really hard and chitinous. On others, like Rifty, it's missing entirely.
Okay.
But basically, it's just a trap door for the tube.
The red color of the portion of this worm, is that similar to the hemoglobin in the tube worms at Hot Fence?
Okay.
Yeah, these are
Video's
a
clear.
type
Thank
of
you.
hot-bent tube
Yeah.
worm. But
Okay.
Lamellabrachia is a species that tends to hang out in really low sulfide conditions, but it's doing the same thing. Hemoglobin is a really good scavenger for very low levels of oxygen. So yeah, the same
So I brought
same thing.
the swing arms
All right.
to a pretty
Thanks, Farina.
exposed
A little
position.
education
Great.
for
Yeah.
the
See 'em in the real
ignoramus
cams.
here.
Yeah, but if we come in close to something, I should get them out of there.
Thanks. Actually, we can kind of
Okay,
skirt
on
along.
the shore, the pilots would like to know what we want to do next. So, Bill Chadwick, what's
how
your
much
pleasure?
time do we
Good
have
look at
2 hours
the
left on the bottom, and then that's with a 2 hour
I'd like to see those.
Can you say that again, please?
water column play.
I haven't gotten a good look at the barnacles, so I'm still
Right,
interested in seeing those.
right, barnacles.
Are there
Oh,
any?
pilot, we want to see the barnacles.
And if one of you could talk to Nav and
Yeah.
figure out what you want to do with the remaining 2 hours that we have,
Okay,
that'd
we'll
be great.
relay that.
I'll set up here.
Can you guys hear me okay?
Yes.
Excellent. So, if you look at high pack, this is where we're at. Right now, my plan is to kind of follow this contour along the south side of the crater, and then make our way up to the top in time to do the water column stuff. And we have 2 hours until that point.
Okay, on shore, Bill, did
Assume
you?
partial, Tara.
Can you hear what the navigator was saying regarding the plan, other than looking at the barnacles, is to go around the south end of the crater, about on this contour, and then move south toward the summit of the volcano. Is that okay with you?
Sounds fine, yeah.
Okay, thanks.
don't
Pilot, yeah,
immediately
the
see
plan
any
the navigator
barnacles.
just described is okay with Bill.
Okay.
Okay, excellent.
Well,
We'll just keep working that way then.
I don't see any barnacles here.
I see,
Did
yeah,
you see
I
any?
see anemones, but no
Yep.
barnacles.
Let's come back.
There
Tara.
were barnacles in with the anemones.
There
Oh,
were
there
barnacles
were.
in with the anemones. Okay,
Okay.
we gotta zoom in there again.
We'll
because
zoom back in.
Our experts say there were barnacles in there. They probably have a lot
You
of.
can see them. You can see them.
They're smaller
Feet.
things.
Go right in the middle there.
Right
zoom
in the middle
straight in,
there.
and you'll
Go ahead
see
and
them.
zoom in.
And you can see it
Zoom
right at the bottom of
straight in.
the screen in the middle. See the little barnacle.
Oh, there.
Oh, there's
I
one
see one.
Yeah.
waving
Yeah.
its little.
I have
Zoom
a
in.
bit more zoom.
Yes, zoom in on those
Okay.
waving just to below the screen
full.
a little bit. The guy that's doing something. Yep, there we go.
Should I take your
Sorry,
Zeus?
on shore. I'm talking both to you and to the pilot.
I think I can control it.
Okay.
There we go. Kind of hard to see the barnacles when they're covered up with ash. Of course, everything is covered with ash.
Just fighting the current and
Yep.
And we have had a request from shore also
yes.
that when we get the tube worm back up on board with the anemones, that we take a look at the encrusting ash just to see, what it looks like. We have a microscope
Tara.
out here, and we can
Yep,
get some
zooming.
I
photos
think one of these like
of the ash.
shallower slope
fact,
slabs would
if
be
folks
easier because
look
I can't get too close without the
On
light.
the Okeanos Explorers
out.
website, at the
try
still
one of these.
images. Actually, there's still images and video now, which Roland, our videographer, very kindly took pictures of through the microscope, and he did a little video traverse across the smoker chimney that we looked at. Oh, what dive was that? That we saw the active chimneys. I forget. Quite a while back. Which one was that? Supply Reef? Oh, shucks. Anyway, folks, if you look at it, you'll see these beautiful little gray crystals, little pieces of pyrite blebs that are attached to the crystals. Anyway, it's a lovely traverse across the interior of a hydrothermal chimney with
Okay, want to zoom in?
lovely little crystals like you'd see inside of a
And now,
volcanic
co-pilot,
bug.
you can take my
See
camera.
if there's anything
Got it.
right here.
And where are we going?
Just search around for a barnacle. And zoom in tighter.
That sounds really cool. I want to look at that.
Yeah, pretty.
Tilt up.
Let me go up.
Wow, look at these guys.
So this appears to be bona fide volcanic rock underneath here, right?
I agree.
Do you agree, Bill?
I think Bill would agree.
Patty?
Oh, look at the hairs.
Yeah, Marina, what's the stuff that's not anemone, but looks like hairs? Or on the rocks,
Hold that
that's
for
what I
just a
was
second.
Are these microbial filaments?
Such a pretty
That's
image.
incredible.
That's what I think they are.
You know, it
I
looks
think
like,
we just got huge, long filaments.
wow,
It'll come out just a tiny bit.
that
Either
is
that or
amazing.
somebody's dead dog down there.
You know, I was just thinking, I love huskies, and we had a couple, and when we would comb the guard hairs out and get the underfluff, that's exactly what it looks like.
All right.
And it would make a mound about a
Tilt
foot
up.
and a half tall, as long as the dog, when he was shedding. There's some more of it
Of
up.
course,
They're
they're no
really
burn.
long and
Yeah.
really thick filaments for microbial.
And branching.
Mind if I just hold that
If
for
you
a
look
moment,
closely
too?
at them, they are branching.
Pilot, do I
Very
have the angle of
strange.
this camera anywhere on the screen?
Yeah, it's on the bottom left. You see just to the left of the diagram it says rotate, ROT. You're at dead even right now.
Oh, 0.0 is what I was aiming for.
And there's a shrimp crawling up through the crack on the left. It's a little bit below your screen now.
Okay, let's zoom out.
Don't see a single
Another
burn.
one up a little higher on the left of the screen.
Do we want to
Little
take a
higher?
look at that? Shrimp higher up on the left of the screen.
Go
I
ahead.
can get on that
Zoom
lower
in.
one. Go
Yeah.
down.
There we go.
Oh.
Too
There's
far.
one. There are two in there. I haven't seen a shrimp like that before.
So I believe this is a shrimp called Paraclimes. Big eye.
Yep. Anybody else have a
Oh,
vote
up
on
a
the
bit.
shrimp?
There.
Yeah, that guy's got long claws.
Oh, he does. Wow. Yeah, they're
Following up.
almost
Tilt 'em up to follow 'em.
transparent.
Oh, he's coming back down. Can you focus on the back one? Let's get an out of view.
So are these guys grazers, or what do they eat? Or maybe we don't know.
Coming up a little.
Okay.
It's another one. Top left now.
Wow. Shirley suggests they're scavengers.
Someone's coming home.
Zoom in. Oh,
There's maybe 4 of them now.
Big guy.
No wonder.
Oh, look how long those pinchers are. Yeah. Yeah, they do look like they're about to fight.
tilt down
Grabbed
here.
him by the neck.
There you go.
Get the smallest increment.
2 flips out of 3.
Well,
He's
other
one.
things go on Saturday nights, right?
Yeah, right.
Following down.
Oh yeah.
Guy needs girl, Bill.
He is fending them
Oh.
off there.
Doesn't.
At the shrimp looks like it's grabbing and ripping something off on the rock, the lower one, as he descends into the crack.
Going for the anemone.
It looked like it, didn't it?
Cool. Okay. Let's zoom
Grab
out.
an
Interesting.
arm.
Yeah.
Thank you, pilots.
Yep.
Boy, that was fun.
Bio action.
Alright, giving your camera back.
And I think we now know one of the things they eat.
Anemones.
So there's this cliff face here.
Maybe he was just harassing you,
Can we
like
find
a bad neighbor.
a bearing
Right.
that would kind of keep us off the wall, and just kind of we can skirt around it before we start to head south?
Copy that.
So I'll back off. Kind of keep towards the
What's that
top
on the
edge here.
Left.
What is that? Yeah, that's a good question. So let me get a view of the.
Just give me a little tether.
1650. If we can go a little more easterly.
Maybe get Sirius where you are almost, or not quite.
Even further, a little further off than where I'm at.
Outcrop.
Let's see.
Yeah, out here in the ship, we've moved up a little bit now. So we're
Yeah, how do you feel about
looking off into the distance here. About ready to move.
Yeah, looks like you're
And the ROV
30 meters from him.
its heading is about 127 or 8.
Yeah, I'd say
130 or
degrees,
something is
and
what I'm thinking.
it's
Yep,
headed,
me too.
so that's
Alright.
Okay.
southeast,
yeah,
headed along this contour more or
Maybe
less.
30 meters.
Yeah, well, let's do
Not even quite. Not even.
let's do 20
Yeah.
at 130.
So the crater is
Okay.
off to the left-hand side of
I'm
the
okay
screen,
with that.
and
My
the uphill side
tether's kind
of
of blowing to starboard,
toward
which
the
I see
crest
that now.
of the
spire.
cone
So actually,
is
that's
to the
the-
right-hand side of the
Yeah,
screen.
we can see the tether now. That is
Yeah.
true.
So you can tell
I
that
can bring him over a little
Yeah,
deeper.
why don't we
Yeah,
go
the
a little
slope
further away
is,
from the wall then?
So something
composed of a
like
whole series of huge
100 or
blocks
something?
that have broken off
a 110.
the
Yeah, like a
summit.
110, I think.
They're
Okay.
kind of
Yeah.
precariously perched,
Yeah, I
on
think
the
that'll
slope
pull
going
us
down toward
away
the
a little
crater.
better.
That means that the current.
but
I mean, it's
everything
not
is
too
covered
bad
with
right
ash.
now, but
Yeah, we'll see what 20 meters looks like.
it's port to starboard. So now it's coming from the north,
I know, it just keeps
Northwest
switching
again.
directions,
switching directions
From the
entirely.
Bridge RV nav.
Yep.
Ready for a nice move here. 20
Right, so
We're
meters,
going
from the
to move the
northeast,
ship a little
northeast.
bit.
110
and that will move
degrees,
Sirius,
decimal 2 knots.
the vehicle up above the remotely operated vehicle, and you can see the image of Sirius.
That
on
is correct.
screen 2, and it is in a cloud of volcanic smoke. You can barely see the lights from the remotely operated vehicle.
Yeah, I think that'll work nicely. And more tube worms.
Oh, that's what we saw from the other side.
Yeah.
We see some more of the tube worms just poking up from the surface of
Zoom
the
in.
rocks right in the center of the screen now.
Looks like that's the same anemones too.
One of them in the center is really thick, and then there's some thinner
Yeah,
ones
I'd
off
say
to the
so.
other side. And the anemones seem to like the same places that tube worms are.
Still no barnacles.
Okay. You can kind of you can bring your heading to starboard
Follow
and
you.
kind of
Every
bisect.
once in a while, you'll see
'Cause we're
a
just
rock
bringing you
face
off the
that's a
wall.
little
Yeah.
orange.
Yeah, no, not
volcano
really
was
moving.
erupting about a year and a half
All right.
ago. You would not have been able to see anything.
Just keep
the
an eye on your
summit
sonar
of this
as
thing.
you
It
move.
was
Yes.
just, the water would have been completely cloudy over the entire summit. We've seen some eruptions like that at Northwest Rhoda, where we went down, and at times the pit was erupting massive amounts of white smoke, and you just couldn't see the bottom. Had to go somewhere else.
I'm really impressed that the walls of this crater are so heavily covered with anemones that are still here. And I'm just imagining them during the eruption, closing up and hanging on for dear life. But I cannot imagine that these things recolonized and grew to this size over such a short period. You think?
Yeah, they could. I think they could.
Yeah, I do agree.
You think so? I don't know.
Surely skeptical.
I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I don't know how long it takes for them to get to this size.
I sure
but
don't.
they're, I mean, size is one thing, but the
3-4
number of them, I guess,
Nope, we're
it's
still
such
present.
abundance.
Yeah, huge numbers, just everywhere.
And the
It must-
barnacles are still there.
Yeah, the
as well.
barnacles, you're right.
I think everybody just pulled in and hunkered down.
Hunkered down.
Right, that's
Yeah,
kind of what I was thinking.
We don't really know much about the
Much going
eruption
on
either. It could have been, most of the action could have been down in the bottom of that
Yeah, you're
pit.
pretty
Although,
close on port.
I mean, it did go
It's-
from
it's actually-
two
I mean,
pits
it's-
to one at some point.
Not
So
that it was pretty
there's
close, just
some,
probably a couple meters there.
something
I know it's a
either
weird
collapsed
view.
or exploded, but a lot of the
eruptive activity could be at the bottom of the pit, and so maybe there's just a lot of the sulfur smoke coming out and some ash, and it must not have been too bad.
How are we doing on that move?
Because it looks like all these animals survived.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's just what I was thinking too.
Actually,
Bill.
hold on. Maybe.
And you can see
Kinda
some.
It wasn't enough to cook them or
Right.
pickle them with acid,
Right.
but
Or pound
it
them
looks
with
like
rock.
there was so much, a lot of ash rained down.
Looks
and
like we
the
went
ones
10
that
meters
were
and now we're
probably
holding.
there
Hold
on
on.
those upper surfaces didn't make it, or they're buried in ash.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's likely.
Thought I heard him copy 2-0.
And if the currents were strong, it would preferentially dump most of the ash in a particular side of the crater. And I am seeing some rock faces
Well, it's-
that
actually,
look
this is
kind
fine.
of brown.
If they're stopped,
you
it's
can
fine.
see it at the top
They
of
are
the
stopped.
Look at
screen
here.
now
Um,
on board the ship, and in
I
a
would've
few
had them
seconds
stop
for
anyway.
you folks
Okay.
on shore.
Why don't you pull up a couple meters?
So there are some rock
Just because
faces
the
that are
now
still
the
completely
current's pushing
exposed.
to starboard, which is kind of
Yeah.
toward the cliff there. This is interesting, huh? It is interesting.
Yeah, it looks like the ship actually started moving backwards. I'm going to call him. Just a little
I
bit.
wonder if they're.
Bridge, RVNAV. Can we hold current position? Thank you, Bridge.
Okay, while we are waiting for the ship to get in position, just wanted to say hello to everyone out there following us. We are coming live to you from the Mariana Trench National Monument. We are at Daikoku Seamount. We are aboard the NOAA exploration vessel, Okeanos Explorer, and we are exploring with the Deep Discoverer ROV, which is operated and maintained by the Global Foundation for Ocean Exploration. My name is Shirley Pomponi. I'm from Harbor Branch Oceanographic Institute, Florida Atlantic University, and the NOAA Cooperative Institute for Ocean Exploration, Research, and Technology. I'm one of two science leads. I am kind of coordinating the biology for the science community participating on shore. And I am joined by...
And I am your geology lead. My name is Patty Fryer. I'm from the University of Hawaii, the Hawaii Institute of Geophysics and Planetology, on the campus of the University of Hawaii at Manoa on Oahu. And we are looking at a huge block of the inner wall of a crater on the top of Daikoku Seamount. It's part of the island unit of the Mariana Trench National Marine Monument. And this volcano erupted in 2014, we are told, by our shore-based scientist who proposed this dive for us. And what we've been looking at are rocks in the wall of the crater and up around between the crater and the summit. We're traversing at about 350 meters depth in the ocean and looking at what may have happened during that eruption on the wall of the crater. So we're looking at this big chunk of the crater that has fractures on either side of it that are vertical. So you're looking at a protruding edge of the wall of the crater. And we're having a watch change on board the ship here. So
For the ROV.
For the remotely operated vehicle, the pilot has changed out, and our new co-pilot's coming in. We'll have a new navigator. In a few minutes, we'll ask these folks to introduce themselves and wave at you in the camera. So stand by for just a little bit. Yes, pilot.
How are you? Hello.
Hello.
Hello there.
So I was just talking with Carl, and I understand that our move right now is to go around the south rim of the crater here. But there's the possibility that we could try to just go down inside the crater and see if we can make contact with the bottom there.
Wow.
Be still my beating heart.
I don't know if everyone heard,
So
but
I take that to be a positive response from the back row.
oh, we would love that.
Okay, so we'll continue along the crater rim here a little bit and kind of assess the situation, and then maybe we'll go down inside while we still have time.
Thank you. Okay, folks at home, we have some good news for you with the new pilots and co-pilots and navigators.
They've
It
had a
looks like
powwow. They've had a little meeting.
They think that it may be possible to descend some more into the crater. So that would mean going slightly to the northeast. We're at 354 meters right now. The bottom of the crater is at 430 meters. It's fairly steep between here and about 420 meters or so, and then it kind of flattens out a little bit to go down to 430, so we'll see what it's like. So that'll be fun.
Yeah.
So I hope you're excited, Bill.
Descend looking at the wall, or are you going to move the ship out in the middle and lower the ROV? Or?
That I don't know yet. They'll let us know. Pilot Watchley?
Go ahead, Watchley.
Pilot, excuse me.
Yes.
Are you going to go out into the water column and try to descend?
Yes, we'll do that.
Okay. Yeah, Bill, pilot just said yes, what they'll try to do is fly out toward the center of the crater and then try to descend into it. Has cleared up a little bit. Probably helped by the currents, you know. They keep changing.
Is there a reason they don't want to kind of, back up and descend as they're watching the wall and
Yes.
going down?
Yes, because we're seeing a lot of these pinnacles, and they don't know, they can't see behind them. They can't see with the Sirius. You could look at that image. You can't see anything at all, really. So they wouldn't know what they might bump into on the way down.
The ROV only has a forward-looking sonar.
Nav and co-pilot. Hi, guys. You online with
Hey,
me?
pilot. Hey, pilot. I'm here.
Alrighty. So at the moment, we're just here at the south edge of this crater rim, and I think we're going to keep moving along that for a little bit. So it's kind of hard to tell, but it looks like I'm pretty stretched out in front of you, Don.
Yeah, I can see every once in a while. I can see the cable coming up here on the right side of the screen.
Okay.
I've got plenty of bottom under me, so I can give you a little more.
Okay. Nav, what do you think about getting the ship move in place to move Sirius closer to where I am, and then I'll make the next.
Sure, absolutely, pilot. So what I was gathering from the last navigator was that we're trying to go around this peak in an hour, or are we going to try to go around this crater?
I believe we're going around the crater. That's my understanding, yeah.
Okay. Then, yes, let me get you moving. And I'm looking at 135 degrees or so. Is that a copy, co-pilot?
Yep.
Okay, how about another 20 meter?
That sounds good.
Watchlead pilot?
Bridge, RV now.
Okay, pilot, are you talking about continuing?
Hey, can we get a ship move of 20 meters, 135 degrees, 0.2 knots?
Exactly.
Okay, thank you. Okay, folks at home, so what the pilots have decided before making a trip off the rim here, where
no, it's no
where
problem.
we would
135
fly
degrees,
into the crater
0.2 knots.
and descend, what we're going to do is continue along the crater rim a little bit further, and then we'll make that jump out into midwater and try to descend into the crater. So we're going to go a little bit further to the southeast along the crater rim.
Precisely.
Okie doke.
Good copy. Thank you.
Yeah, we have about 2 and almost 2.5 hours. Incredibly jagged, broken up surface on the seafloor around this south rim of the crater that erupted pretty recently, 2 years ago. And the rocks on the seafloor are all covered with volcanic ash. And as we've been zooming in here and there, we see that most of the surface is also covered with microbial filaments or a microbial mat. And also there are anemones and tube worms and lots of flatfish.
Hey, Patty, I think your time math was wrong. I think there's just an hour and a half left, not 2.5.
Okay.
Yep, hour and a half.
Is that correct?
Yep, that's an hour and a half. Yep.
You're right. Yep. Okay. Thank you.
Watch leads nav.
Go ahead, Nav.
Hey, I just wanted to touch base with you guys. So after I was listening, and I was also taking care of some other things. So what I heard was we're going to go around this crater and possibly try to go down into it. Yes?
That's correct. That's what I understood
Okay.
the pilots explaining to us.
Sure. And then what I was actually going to ask you about was the water column transfer. So what's the main plan to get started on that? Is it just in 2 hours we want to come up?
Yes, stand
by. We
Sure.
not sure exactly what depth we want to start that at.
Sure.
So we have to find out.
Yeah.
Go survey 1. We could do that anytime. I mean, conditions are consistent and yeah. Yeah. He was saying
Go ahead, watch
switching
it.
between southwest and northeast.
Looks like more tube worms on the rock on the right there.
Copy that. I didn't know how much time you exactly wanted to spend in the water column, or if it was just a rough estimate.
Tara, you want to take a zoom?
2
on
hours
this?
in the water column.
Sure.
Copy that. Thank you.
More tube worms.
Okay, holding partial.
Thank you. That's great.
Okay, pilot. That would mean we have about an hour left to explore before we start the water column.
All right. What do you think, Carl? All right. Full wide, please. Video.
Roger. Full wide pilot.
Thanks.